right, so this.
Right up next.
And then we've got Clara. Is it Clara or Clara? I want to get
Clara.
that. Clara.
Yeah,
Good
my parents
for you.
are Irish, so.
Oh, but there's nothing wrong with that. I can do Irish.
Yeah.
Let's do Irish then for the rest. Right, let's do it.
Yeah, so you changed it to the kilt. I saw last night that you were planning on it.
Yeah.
I like to see that it's good that you follow
Oh
through.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
The ratings went through the roof as soon as we even talked about me putting on.
Well,
the
there you go. There you go.
What? And we went up to like 3. That's not true. It's been higher than that.
4.
4. It was awesome. But yeah, and
Right.
it's so comfy, right?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have some of the things that would affect that. But I'm pro skirts.
Clara, you just mentioned us 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
oh, I totally missed that. Apparently, Kevin Jennings was supposed to know that Christine was his first crush. Oh, that's so cute. Because I just totally admitted that to Stacey again. So, yeah.
I'll mail it to her
Right.
So,
sometime next week.
Stacey missed us in,
After a
right?
rest.
After some sleep.
All right, see, and I had all my notes, but I am actually just pulling you. Oh, right, because you are one of the ones who was in Map to the Stars.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because there's like 3 or 4 people who are actually in over the course of the weekend. They were all in Map to the Stars.
Oh, really? Really?
I'm just like, that's insane.
Cool.
They're all on Murdoch, of course. Everybody's
Yeah.
in Murdoch,
Yeah.
which is a good
Well,
thing.
they're at over 100 episodes now. So if
Yeah,
you've been at it for a few
That's
years,
you
good
need
chance.
to be on that show. Yeah. And then, right, and my babysitter is a vampire. Because we knew the mom in that, and we know the mom in that. Laura Cutter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My other secret girlfriend.
That's true. Which, not so secret. So, right off the bat, thanks for coming in.
Oh, well, thanks for having me.
You know, because it's always kind of cool to see people we haven't interviewed come in and how they slip into the vibe.
Right.
And because it's really informal. It's
Yes.
very goofy, which you may or may have not seen.
I have seen.
Okay, good. And we're gonna start with that first all question. First all question.
First question we always
I'm
start
the all father, which would be Odin, but I got nothing now. Wow, it's almost time for a Red Bull, folks. Almost.
So I guess it's just you and me now.
There you go. I'm
All right,
I'm
that's
gonna be
fine.
like this.
Cool. Feminism,
I'll be
you know.
fine. I'll be back. No, but all-time favorite movie.
Well, I saw you asking these questions to
So
other
you're
guests.
prepared.
Well,
I hate that.
I was like, I gotta be like ready. I don't want to be just like this loser that's like, oh, I don't know. But I didn't come up with one exactly. But I was like, I rephrased the question in my own head
do it.
to like, what movie did you watch the most times as a child?
Good.
And I would say that would be The Sound of Music.
Oh.
When my parents would have guests over, I did reenact it with my sister
No.
playing several roles, going up and down the stairs.
And who did you play?
Well, like all of them except
Okay.
for Gretel, basically. Like I would just like I would like lift her up and everything. I would play just like you'd play a role and then you'd be like, cool, that part's done, because they actually only have like one line each, like one solo each in the
That's
song.
true.
So you do it and then you'd go and then you'd have to come back because like there's 2 of us, not 7. But whenever we had like lots of friends over or something, I'd be like, great, like now's
Now
our
we can do it.
chance.
Full production.
So yeah. So I rephrased the question so that my
That's
answer
it,
would
yeah.
be that.
What is it now? I want to just sing one of the songs. But it's so long, farewell.
Well, don't do that yet. You still have like a whole day left.
That's gonna bother me for the rest of the day. Oh, you know what? We could do do, a deer. No, let's not ever sing that song again.
Yeah.
And I don't know like the rest of the songs to sing them. Oh, know what? My favorite thing. What is that?
These are a few of my favorite things.
Yeah, that's always a gorgeous
Raindrops
song.
on roses.
And
Whiskers on kittens.
really, that's
No.
what you're just gonna say. You're not gonna sing. You're not gonna play.
No, I'm just gonna play it
That's
cool.
fine.
I'm wearing
Oh,
like
she's cool.
the black tank top and jeans. Like that means I'm like cool.
As
I don't
long as you're not a
usually like
hipster.
do that. I'll play a hipster, but
Yeah, I'm pretty
no,
sure.
no.
Only if they pay you well.
Well, if they pay me at all, it's
I'll do it. I'll do it to annoy Tim. Those damn hipsters.
Yeah, but I figure you've been asking a lot of questions about film, TV,
Oh,
sort of
sure.
related
Yeah.
things. But we can talk about other things if you're
Sure,
bored of
sure.
that.
What? How
you
could
know.
you ever be bored of
Well, I
film
don't know. Maybe
television?
you're like, what's your favorite movie? Like, what's it like working on this movie? And maybe you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
So,
that was
we
my
can
next
talk about
question.
anything,
What was
really.
it like working on that movie?
It was
What I
great.
did? Yeah, it was great.
It was.
I loved it.
It was really lovely.
Everybody was wonderful.
Yeah. No, all of these things are true, and it's great that so many of us seem to work in environments where we have
Right.
that experience.
Because you
But-
don't get that a lot from what I hear, and I'm not speaking ill of American productions, but you don't hear as good as many good stories from American productions as you do from Canadian productions. Every Canadian production I've spoken to is like, this is the best crew, this is the best cast I've ever worked with, kind of thing. Whereas
Right.
I never hear those stories from the stateside.
I don't know,
I'm not saying it
maybe-
doesn't happen.
Maybe it's because, every Canadian film and TV show feels kind of like the little engine that could. So
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, oh my God, everyone sort of came together and everyone pulled like so many favors and like, yay.
Right, and we did it.
So, there's that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a fair
Yeah.
point. That is a fair point. Look at you running circles around me already so early in the morning.
We're the,
Thanks for that.
It's almost 12.
What?
Well, it's 11:20. I was gonna
Is
say
it
it's not that
seriously
early in the
11:20?
morning. Yeah.
Holy
Yeah,
crap.
you've been going.
Which means we're going to have to take a look at that card real soon. Just make
Oh, yeah.
Because we got to be close, which is cool. I love that. Wicked.
Yeah.
All right. But, I mean, okay, so we've talked about, briefly, Murdoch and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so what have you got coming up? What are you doing?
A few different films and shows that are sort of in post right now. A new film that was a feature that's a co-production between Canada, Italy, and Malta.
Wow.
So yeah. So the sci-fi production.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, the
All right.
most like international cast ever. So we shot in Canada a bunch of green screen stuff.
Okay.
So it was the only Canadian cast in it. I'd met the director when I was in Cannes with Maps, and he was
Nice.
sort of just assembling different people from all over the world to kind of reflect the story that he was telling. So basically, people are sort of trapped in this world, and they wake up and sort of don't know what's what, and sort of think they're in different times and spaces, kind of thing. But it's actually that they're trapped inside a sort of maze, and they're from all over the world, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I
that
mean-
was
Cube, but not.
yeah, it was pretty cool, and it's crazy that we different people shot in different countries, so like I haven't met
That's
a lot of.
cool.
So here it was just myself and Danny Glover sort of doing these scenes.
I'm sorry, you and Danny Glover?
Yes.
How cool is that?
It was cool.
Right?
It was cool, but we also have no idea what's behind us because it's in green screen.
That's right.
So I have no idea what my other co-stars are like because I should shot in Canada, and I have no idea what's around me because it's just green. So it'll be
You're excited
it's a
to
big
see it.
surprise to see the film. To do
Totally.
you do a few days here and there, like over doing their days in Malta or whatever. So it's crazy, but I think it'll be cool to when it comes out to sort of and the premieres and stuff, and to connect with people like interested for the first time when you've kind of done this
Oh, totally.
project together.
That would be so
So, yeah, it was really interesting and really crazy. They'd be doing my hair, and then it'd be people talking in like all different languages.
Oh,
So there'd be I've never had so many people so focused on what's gonna happen with my hair because the green screen people are like all like
Right. Oh,
flyaways,
yeah.
like big
Yeah.
issue, and my hair is like very long. And then, so they'd be talking in like Italian over here, they'd be talking in like English over here, they'd be talking on like a technical level over here, then a creative level over here. So it was
Wow.
it was fun. It was amusing. It was like, wow.
Now,
this
do you
is
have like a really
interesting.
good imagination? Was it easy to kind of work off a green screen, or?
Yeah, like it was interesting how it kind of brought about a focus, kind of like on the other actor that you're with, because I think I had a tray, a glass of water, we had like 2 pieces of furniture, so the attention becomes just you and the other person, and what that sort of relationship is, because you don't have these sort of other
Yeah.
things, which I think really worked in the case of the scenes that sort of we were doing. So that focus was really quite interesting.
Very cool.
Yeah.
You don't even have any atmosphere around
No.
you. Like, there's nothing to set a mood or anything.
No, like you just sort
Kind
of
of in a space.
yeah, you just really focused. It was and as well, most of the sometimes crew is actually ultimately closer to you when you're shooting things, like it's like just off frame, there's like 3 people sort of doing this or like holding this or whatever, but the crew is actually like quite far from you because we'd be doing these huge sort of scapes, so they had a big long boom. But apart from that, like there's this whole, half a studio that it's just all just green, and then the
Wow.
two sort of actors. So it was interesting. I've only done very, very, very small scale green screen stuff. Like here's your sort of like little wall in your frame is kind of like
Yeah.
this, like yay. But I've never done
I'm in
a whole
Wow.
world will sort of be around us, like 3-dimensional, all
Yeah.
green, and
Yeah.
So it was
It's gonna be interesting.
it was interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, because I've been so like engrossed in this whole Guinness thing,
Really,
did Maps come out like?
it came out on Halloween.
Oh yeah.
So it's been
Okay,
out.
that's
It's
it.
been about a week. This is its second weekend. So hopefully,
Nice.
Canada will give it a
think it
good
just came
second
out, right?
weekend. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to see it.
I know.
I've seen it 3 times, so
Nice.
Well, I mean, I didn't see it
Good,
during.
I like it.
Do you like sort of dark stuff?
Yes.
Then probably.
Right.
It's I think
I'm not
that
worried.
I do think that the performances are really thorough. I think there's no sort of weak links. I think everyone did a really
Nice.
great job.
He seems to be like, because I mean, he's always done sort of dark stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems lately he's taking a little bit of a turn. I don't know, maybe he's just maturing more as a director or something. But it seems like he's focused more on character than.
Yeah, it's definitely. It's
So
definitely
there's always-
changed.
you could always tell, like, there'd be some gross.
Yeah,
mildly
there's less.
sexual
There's less.
stuff going
There's
on.
less like gore. There's
Right.
less gore
Yeah.
in it, and more. I mean, there's sort of
Like the tension
definitely
comes from
disturbing
within the-
elements, but yeah. I mean, it's also based on, of course, the scripts that he's
Yeah.
working with. So I think what's interesting is that Bruce Wagner, who wrote the film, first wrote it 20 years ago.
Wow.
So it's interesting that not gore specifically, but these other sort of elements outside of the self are sort of less relevant. Like he's updated things and added cell phones and
Yeah.
whatnot, but it's mostly stayed pretty similar to what he
Yeah.
wrote 20 years ago. So it is coming really from inside without the dependence on technology and sort
Yeah.
of different things. Of course, they added that element in for relevance and whatnot, but the world, the internal world of these characters struggling is where it's come from in his script. So
That's very cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
Because that's on the list. I'm still gonna see Interstellar for sure, and Big Hero 6. So I've got 3 movies to see now.
Well, you
Well,
could
you don't
just,
have time now.
you could get some of them on iTunes and sort of play them here and sort of watch them.
Just watch.
Just
us
watch me watch a movie.
Or you could
yeah.
play them in the background, more advertising, especially for
Right.
Canadian content.
See,
You could use all the help you can get. It's good.
I like the way you're thinking.
Entrepreneurial.
We are all about
Let
the
me just
Canadian
call
content.
these other people and tell them
Yeah,
not to.
we're gonna watch a movie for the next 4 hours. So come back
Good.
in. Bring me lunch. Where's my hot dog stand? There's got to be one out there by now, anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna have a street meet later.
I heard about that too.
Yep. Oh yeah, and we're jumping in the pool. I'm jumping in the pool. Oh yeah, I
Sweet.
am. Yep. 4 o'clock. On that break. Oh yeah, jump in the pool. Then I'm gonna put on my nice fleece comfy robe.
Yeah.
It's still worth it, kilt, because I'm loving
Under
this
the
kilt.
robe?
I might never give this kilt back.
Oh, it's a loaner.
So that's called buying it.
Yeah.
As opposed
I got the Scottish company were kind enough to outfit me for the weekend because I was supporting the whole Sue having to wear a dress
Right.
and getting all mic'd up, and I'm like, I will totally support my Scot roots. I will totally support Sue having to wear a dress, and I will wear a kilt.
So do you think that a lot of people have not worn underwear with that kilt?
Well, I am, so I'm not as concerned right now.
Right.
And it definitely got pressed and laundered before I put it on because I saw
Right.
him do it, so I'm not so worried.
Right.
But now I'm going to be worried about that for the rest of it. Thank you for that.
Well, if you get bored,
I'm
just
gonna
have that.
Just circling in the back
Your
of my
mind
head.
starts to
Yeah.
wander a little
Yeah,
bit.
you just
Huh.
So I
have
wonder,
something
yeah.
to ponder.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
In a traditional sense.
No, it's fine. And I like it a lot actually, so I might wear it anyway.
You do keep petting it.
I know. I like it. It's great that. I'm a big fan. Big fan of that. It's great.
I'm just gonna wait. Let me
It'll
know
stop
when
soon. It'll stop. It'll have to stop by itself sooner or later. Here it goes. Here it goes. Here it goes. Here it goes. I'm fine.
It's almost time for another Red Bull.
It is. Although I had one at it was 4 a.m. when I had one. So if I can get to like maybe 4 p.m. and then have another one, why not, right? This is a
Right.
good plan.
Well, you haven't hit noon yet, and you're already
Right. And there is
Words
2
of eating a
cases
Red Bull.
of Red Bull.
same. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That is a lot of Red Bull.
Yeah.
So you've got the sci-fi one, which is in post.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have a name?
It's called Andron, the Black Labyrinth.
Oh, I like that.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. You know what? Because I didn't see it listed on IMDb, so I'm actually gonna make a note of that on my phone.
Yeah.
Because that just sounds good. I like the title, to say the least, and the concept sounds cool.
I think there's also an accent on the O.
Ooh.
Because, co-productions.
Of course, as you do.
And then, Instagram some stuff. That the interesting thing is that there's a whole bunch of press about it. And,
Right.
I'll see my name somewhere in it, and I'll be like, I don't know what this says because it's all in Italian.
Is it cool? Because it sounds cool. Those look
It's
like really
well,
cool.
no one's seen it, so it can't be like, oh, this girl's bad, right? So,
How would
must
that
be
happen?
good, right?
Exactly.
There we go.
At this stage.
That would be so cool.
But, yeah, it should be good.
Uh-huh. So what else do you do to keep yourself busy? I mean, are you a big reader or?
Well, I've been writing a kid series
Nice.
about a grizzly bear
Yes.
named
bears.
Moringa, who talks. So, I spend some time in my room, writing songs about germs and stuff. The show's about health and nutrition for really little kids.
Nice.
So, there's 3 kids, and they'll have an issue of the day. And then Moringa will help them through songs and fun times,
As bears do.
as they do. Yeah. So,
Smoky.
well, yeah.
Did it?
So it's the same, except doesn't promote tobacco use incidentally.
And fires, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's been really fun. It's been really exciting. It's the first time that I've written a series. It's also the first time that I've written something that hasn't been, oh, I really want to write this screenplay, that I've been sort of, commissioned or hired to write something that's someone else's, here's your thing,
Yeah.
sort of work with it. So that was really interesting. But once you wrote kind of 2 episodes, you kind of got into a pattern, especially because it's kids.
Yeah.
And then they just sort of roll off, and I just sort of leave my bedroom, come in and out as I come up with sort of lyrics to things, get a snack, and you'll just be like,
That's so cool.
body just the heart happy, just be like everything in between, I'll just sort of,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's been fun, and exciting to think about kids sort of watching it and the takeaways that they can kind of get
hell
from
yeah.
it. And also I get paid to just watch Arthur and Magic School Bus as research, so that's good.
I want to get paid for research like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you just kind of watch different things, and you sort of look at the way things that kind of worked, or you might get the first couple bars of a song that you then sort of adapt and kind of lead into. Once you have the kind of the chorus,
Yeah.
then you kind of can kind of go for it. So some of them I spend a lot of time looking at which things are in public domain.
Oh yeah.
Because one of them is row, row, row your boat, and except it's wash, wash, wash your hands and stuff.
Nice.
And then some of them are totally new melodies that they're more complicated usually. Because wash your hands is simple, do
Yeah.
it.
Just do it.
But some of the things are more complex, the one about exercise. I did 2 songs about exercise. It's about 2 songs an episode.
Okay.
That was sort of more complex, but pretty fun.
That's wicked. That was just is it available to watch somewhere, or are we still in the
Not
development
yet.
stage?
They
Okay,
haven't. So I've given the stuff to sort of production, and then they'll go into production, sort of start shooting, hopefully soon. Not really at the production office much, really. Sort of in the initial stages and production meetings we had, I was there, and then I kind of just went home and decided to
I'm gonna
email
start
them my
writing, yeah.
episodes kind of thing. So I haven't been back to the production office in a little while, but they'll start shooting soon.
Nice.
And then the channel and details of that and how people can watch it will be available when they finish their sort of deals and whatever side I'm outside of. It's nice to actually not be producing it. And in the past, when I've written my own sort of screenplays, I've also been a producer on it, and it's like, so it's a different game. So it's kind of nice to be like, well, those are my episodes.
Yeah.
Those
My part's
some
done.
kick-ass
Yeah.
songs. Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
About, exercise and like not eating sweets and like bellyache blues and stuff.
Bellyache Blues.
That's one of the songs.
I like the sound of that
Yeah.
already. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be cool. And it sounds... Now, each episode runs...
It's 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Okay. Yeah, that sounds just about right, too.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah.
It's 10 minutes, so it's like 9 minutes and then like
Yeah.
soundtrack. So
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Those
it's
two that
been
would
it's
work
good. It's
really
been like
well.
a good sort of transition from like writing sort of short films to then to this, because it's not like, oh, suddenly you're writing a 48-minute show or
Right?
whatever.
Oh, man.
It's just it's writing something that's kind of like a series of short films, and you are writing them at a very quite fast pace because 2 weeks then you have another one.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been like a sort of nice transition that I've been able to do it
That's awesome.
in that way. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would love the fact that, you get to create it on your own. You've written it, and then somewhere down the line, it's going to come to life on the screen.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, because you talked about writing and directing and producing stuff before.
I have, yeah.
So what was the first piece that you did that got produced, and did it blow you away?
For film, the first piece that I wrote was called Bajide.
Okay.
I acted in it as well. It's set in St. Jamestown in Toronto in the fall, a year after the Rwandan genocide.
Okay.
It's between a young white school teacher and a woman who's a Rwandan refugee who's here with her godson. So it starts with a parent-teacher interview, and things sort of spill out from there that they have to deal with in the rest of the film. So it's based on a full play that I have in development, and then I adapted a piece of it into a film. So that was the first thing that I ever sort of produced and wrote. It ended up turning out really well. We had Raven Dowda played Bajide, the lead character, who was absolutely amazing. Did well. It did the festival circuit.
Wow.
It won one of its categories, to my total shock. Just because actually the other pieces were so strong, because I'd been there for most of the weekend, and I was like, wow, it was a very little festival that they didn't really have enough money to pay sort of everyone that was working for it. So a lot of people were sort of volunteering, working on it, and it wasn't sustainable for them. So it's very sad that it's closed. It was in Brantford. But it was some of the strongest shorts programming that I've ever seen. Like, I saw some amazing things there. So then when we sort of won our category, I was just very
cool.
shocked.
That is so cool. Because, I think the first time, if I did something that got that far, the first time I would see it on a big screen it would totally freak me out.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, I wrote that. That person's saying something I wrote. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Whereas, of course, you're coming in with the whole being an actor at the same time. I'm sure it's not quite as...
When
Wow.
I watch it, my breath goes to the same place, because I'm in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
My breath goes to the same place as it did when I initially did it. And I find the same thing happens to me. Like, if I do ADR for something, like, I find ADR, I find it very easy to replicate what I did.
Wow.
Because I just I can see where my breath is, and I can feel where it is, and I have a memory of, I don't know, breath memory, I don't know if that's a thing.
Sure.
But I feel it inside me. So my breath is in exactly the same place. So watching it, it's like, the way that the character becomes is overwhelmed, my character, receiving what she's sort of receiving. So when it ends, I'm kind of like I kind of have to, because my breath kind of goes there, especially because the piece had been with me for so long.
Wow.
I mean, it was 2 years as a play sort of in development before I even wrote it as a screenplay. And then the same with sort of ADR, like, there's a line that goes across and then it sort of says go.
Yeah.
I often don't even look at the line, like, I just kind of do the the echo thing, because I sort of close my eyes and sort of do it and just sort of connect with the breath in that
Wow.
way instead of doing the sort of technical thing. Because like the line going across, that's kind of stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you're just like, because
it
if
now?
you're
Is it
looking for
now?
the
Yeah.
line going across, then your breath isn't in the
where it
right
was,
place at
yeah.
all. Because like if you were really, you know, right down here in the scene, and then you're like,
Yeah.
it doesn't actually work. So I often sort of do the echo thing, and I find it easier to do and more sort of authentic.
That's cool.
So
Wow.
How about that?
That's good. And I'm gonna sound like a complete doofus and ask, what is the echo thing?
well, they play you
Okay.
what you did, and you listen to it sort of in your ears, like you can listen to
Yep.
it sort of a couple times, and then you just repeat it back in exactly what you heard.
Okay.
And then they take the clip and insert it sort of where it's supposed to go, instead of like you going right on the line and sort of saying it there.
Yeah.
They can pull those clips and just kind of go anywhere.
That's cool.
So it's yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
I was on the same page. I'm like, okay, I think I got you. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So, okay, now we're obviously here for the whole weekend.
Yes.
What are you doing with the rest of your weekend?
This afternoon, there's an independent designer who makes bags, and I'm helping her out with a photo shoot that she's doing. She's an independent Toronto designer, so it should be a good afternoon.
Nice.
Female photographer, female designer, so supporting young, local female entrepreneurs, really.
Nice.
So, yeah, which is cool. Like, I've been more and more interested in Canadian sort of fashion scene. I went to a lot of stuff at Fashion Week, and I'd recently sort of connected a lot more with Canadian designers at TIFF and whatnot, and sort of bridging the two industries sort of thing. So I'm excited to be able to sort of help out with this and support that kind of work, because I mean, you know what they say, I don't know if it's a meme, some sort of JPEG kind of thing going around, that it's like if everyone spent $100 on local
Totally.
entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
we would have like another 3 million in the economy or something.
Yes, we would. Yep.
So I think that's really important.
Yeah.
And I think there's lots of really easy ways that we can do that. So I'm excited to help a company further that
That's cool.
growth.
Nice. Because, that's, smart, clever young woman. That's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Sorry.
You're disgusting.
You're running circles around my brain at this point, and I'm like, just stop.
Well,
Just slow down.
I did go to sleep.
So you got that on me. All right, that's fair.
I'm going to take a quick blue break before we bring up.
Yeah, all right. I'm just saying, you have got you got a good head on your shoulders.
Thank you.
I mean, for someone your age, you sound like you know what you're doing.
Thanks.
I did not
Someone
know
my
what to
age.
do. Yeah, exactly.
Thanks so much.
That's yes.
Take it.
So yeah, you know what? I'm gonna if I pull Ryan in here for a minute to chat.
Sure,
or
whatever you
he's-
want to do.
He's ignoring me.
I'm
No,
cool
he's
with
shaking his head.
whatevs.
All right, we can just chat then. We can just
All
chat.
right.
All right. Because now we can.
Do you want to talk about
Christmas.
other stuff?
Yeah,
We're
what do you
talking
wanna
about like
talk about?
young local, entrepreneurs. You talk whatever.
Yeah, we can.
Unions, the political system.
Right? Who'd you vote for?
I voted for Olivia.
Good for you.
And then a school trustee I voted for didn't win. But I voted for Olivia. I felt like she really supported
Yeah.
our industry.
Yep.
And I felt like, I looked at all the events that sort of I'd been at, and I was like, Olivia was there even before she was running.
Yeah.
She was right there. She wrote the intro to a book that I'm published in. So I had a kind of connection with her before I even had sort of met her.
Wow.
So I just felt like she was right. She was right there, and she was doing the right thing and standing behind things that I care about. And where she stood on public housing, and lower income families, and I felt like that was a really
Right there with you.
strong match. I think no matter what she does, she's going to end up doing something next
Yeah,
that's
it's
really
gonna be
exciting
amazing.
and really meaningful,
Yeah.
and makes the world in our country better.
Totally agree.
But I mean, I think it looked going in like, you know, for the couple weeks going into the election, it looked like she might not win. But I think it's really important to vote for who you to vote at all.
Yes.
I mean, the first time that I ever voted in my life, I cried. So I was so moved by being able to exercise that right. When I was 10, I was like, oh, I'm so excited to be 18 because then I get to vote.
Because you get to vote, yeah.
But I think it's important to vote for the people that you really want to actually...
Yeah. I mean, as opposed to like how people are
not.
talking about hedging their bets and voting just to get Ford out. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, because if everyone voted, you know, who they think, then, you know, you look at different waves that have happened in our sort of history, and change is absolutely possible. Change has happened.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that John Tory will absolutely support the film and television
I think so.
industry, which is good and should be a positive move forward for our city. And also as an ambassador of our city, you know, going to other cities, visiting LA, doing different things like that, I think he will be a confident voice that will be assuring that this is a, you know, stable and good place to film.
Please.
But I think elections are really interesting things, and I think it's been great to see that more young people seem to be engaging in it through sort of this election campaign. I think it galvanized a lot of young voters this time around. I'd be interested to see the actual sort of statistics.
Me too, actually, see what happens.
But I think it's exciting that we've had a bigger voter turnout this election than ever before. But it's also a little bit sad to me that a bigger voter turnout is only about 60%.
Right? And how
like I think that's so it's like yay, but also it's like that's actually pathetic. You know, to me, like, and I mean, I studied poli-sci, and I've always been really interested in sort of the world in that way and democracy. But, you know, when I think about how hard people have fought and died trying to vote, to have only 60% turnout it's not. That means 40%
couldn't be bothered.
Didn't.
Yep.
So, and there's lots of factors to go into that. I think just couldn't be bothered is absolutely the case and often, but it's even more complicated than that. I think like there are issues of like, can we make things sort of simpler? I think the ballot itself is extremely confusing.
Yeah.
You know, I have a university degree and English is my first language, but if I have to, I'm looking twice and making sure that I did it right. Wow. You know, so I'm just like, okay, just like, you know, double checking. But so if English wasn't your first language, or, you know, you don't have a high school sort of diploma, like the ballot has a lot of names on it, multiple categories. I think that it's too complex, and I think that it needs to change. I think that you need to have that sort of reform in that way. Like I think it was super exciting to see at my own polling station, like how many people so sort of diverse coming out to vote in clearly all different situations. But there were people who, even at my polling station, like I saw that they were like really sort of struggling with things or said they found it confusing. And that's an issue, because if you have that experience, you may not want to go vote the next time because you were overwhelmed this time. Even if the next ballot is a provincial election and it's simpler, you may be like, I don't want to do it. So if we're turning people away from democracy, that's a pretty big problem. So there's that side, as well as the how do you address just sort of voter apathy. So it's complex. I think it's not as simple as just people are too lazy to vote, although I think that's absolutely a huge problem. We need to find ways to address that too. I mean, some countries, if you don't vote, you get a $60 fine.
Yeah, and which I think is what they should do.
Which I think is great. Interestingly, that could actually bring up certain percentages that would sort of vote left wing who could really use that $60 sort of thing.
Alright.
So wouldn't want to lose it. But
Yeah, look,
it's
Answer's back.
very interesting. We got serious while you're gone.
did. We got
broke away from
politics.
film and TV and talked about voter apathy
Yeah, we
and
did.
democracy.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Irritated.
There you go. Did you get that on the mic?
On the record.
Yeah.
The real record.
All right. Clara, thank you for coming in.
Thank you
It
so
was
much for having
good to
me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So much fun.
Thank you so,
Alright.
so much.
Hooray! What do we got for time there on the? No, on that.
Top timer said
It should say A.